Hi, welcome, welcome. I'm a little bit early. I hit live a little too soon, I think. I am glad you're here. I'm Kelley Pitts, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Lubbock, Texas, and I have been a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator for almost 18 years, right about 18 years. So I started in 2005. I'm glad you're tuning in. I'm a little frazzled, I guess. I can't even think this morning. But I am excited about, of course, I love bright colors. If y'all know me, if you've ever watched any of my videos or been to my home, you know how much I love bright colors. Welcome, Facebook user. Glad you're here. If anybody would like for me to know your name and be able to say hi personally to you, you can just go to StreamYard.com/Facebook, like it shows on the screen there, and you grant StreamYard permission to share your Facebook comments. So that way I know who you are. Thanks a lot for tuning in, everyone. I'll give everybody a second to come on. Would love to know your name and where you're from and all that when you join. I'm happy to have you here, whether you're live on Facebook or you're live on YouTube or you're watching a replay. You're all important to me, and I really appreciate your business. Of course, I sell all the Stampin' Up! Products that I show you in each video, and it really helps me a lot when you support my small business. I appreciate it. And today I'm excited to share with you. We're going to probably do this one next week, maybe, or sometime before then. I'm not sure. Today I'm going to show you this horizontal easel card. We'll see how easy that is for you to see how it stands up from the side. We'll let that, whoops, got a stray hair, a runaway hair there. So that's the side. And then you open it up and it has, oh, what fun. Isn't that cute? Has all the little light bulbs. I'm going to show you how to do all this today. And it's kind of a twofer card. If y'all have seen my blog post, if you haven't, you can go to createwithkelley.com when we're finished here and check that out. And it gives you the details of how I made this, all the measurements and all that. I'll try to remember to go through them today as we go. But before we jump into this card, I wanted to show you, I was a part of a team swap 2 nights ago on the 28th with Sharon McCartney. She and several of her team members and some of my team members and I all got together, and I'm about to sneeze. Sorry about that. Oh, excuse me. We all got together at Sharon's home. She was a wonderful hostess, and we had a lot of fun and food and fellowship and snacks and did some crafting. So it was a great time that's reserved for team members only, and we would love for you to join our teams. Stampin' Up! Is going to be offering a special that makes it even a more special time to join in a few days. In October, there will be a joining special. So you could, even if you're a hobby demonstrator, if you just want to do it for the discount, that would be a great time to do it. Good morning, Tanya. So glad you've tuned in. I appreciate that. Glad you're up and at 'em and have a minute break here to tune in. Okay, I'm going to show you some of the swaps from the team swap and make and takes. Sharon and I kind of got our teams together, and this was my swap, and I'll show you the inside of that one. So when you do a swap, that means if you have 8 people who are attending an event and participating in a swap, you design a card and you make 8 of them, and then everybody else makes 8 of them. And then when you get to the event, you swap cards. So you get to come home with all 8 samples. So that's what we did. And then also did a make and take. Everybody who attended got to make this card that was my make and take. And then they also got to make Sharon's beautiful table setting. Isn't that pretty with the copper, I guess it's still copper silverware, or is it copperware? I don't know. The plastic tableware. but using that autumn harvest set, isn't that gorgeous? And it was really easy to make, and you could make one for each place setting and put a little name placard if you wanted. So those were the two make and takes we did. That was the crafting part. And then with the swapping part, we did, this was Sharon's. Let me hold this up. Let me go ahead and switch this camera over so y'all are a little closer here. Hold on a sec. We'll switch this to here. There we go. Goodness, I'm going to have to, excuse me, I'm going to have a Kleenex here. That's sneezing. Okay, sorry about that. This was Sharon's beautiful swap, with the Merry Christmas from the Hope and Peace set. And then she has the Joy, that's some kind of melody. I'm not sure what the name of that folder is. Embossing folder over it. And this is the stack, slice, and shuffle technique. And using the winter, I think it's Winter Woods, maybe? Winter or something. Oh, here we go. We have it. Winter Meadow Designer Series paper. So this card was designed, as I said, by Sharon McCartney. And then we didn't show mine very close up. We'll go ahead and do that. That was my swap. And it has, I took my sheet out. Here we go. It has the Merry Bold and Bright Designer Series paper. And I used the Alphabet a la Mode dies, the Nested Essentials dies, which are these hexagonal ones, long elongated hexagonals, I guess. And the Joy to You stamp set on the inside, and the Merriest Trees. This is from the Joy to You, and this is from the Merriest Trees. So that was my swap. And then Diane Evans, who is one of Sharon's team members, who lives in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Oh, Diane Bass. I don't know. I'm sorry, I got her name wrong. I was thinking Evans. Diane Bass made that one, and here's the lovely inside. This is from that Merriest Trees. That must be Pool Party or Pool Party, Balmy Blue. I'm not sure exactly. Maybe it doesn't have enough green in it for Pool Party, but isn't that a pretty fun fold there? And it folds flat for the envelope. So there's Diane's lovely card. And then this one is another team member of Sharon's, and it is using the foil from that Snowflake Accents Designer Series paper, and it has the new sheer white and silver ribbon on it, and using the double oval punch. And then the nice little snowflake on the inside, because we can't have any naked insides, can we? And that was Tammy Pretis. And then we're back to my team members. This one is from Diane Harlan. Isn't that pretty? And we have the, I was going to look that up. Let's see if we have it all here. How wonderful. She's got it all for us. On the dies, she used the Merriest Trees and the Frosted Flurry dies. And then the embossing folder is called Christmas Tidings. And those are in, all of these are in the new mini catalog from Stampin' Up that's for the holiday season. And this tag is just a perfect size, and that is in there with the Merriest Trees dies. So real red and garden green, so more traditional colors. And then this cute little We Wish You a Merry Christmas comes from that Merriest Trees also. So isn't that a cute card with the little ornaments stacked up there? And then this lovely card and matching envelope are from Eileen Cowart. She's another one of my team members. Isn't that gorgeous with that oxidized copper paper? This one has oxidized copper and Pretty Peacock in it. And then we've got the Pretty Peacock deckled circle, and then the die from the Harvest Leaves dies, I think is what that's called, Harvest Leaves. And then we've got the new distressed tile embossing folder in the background. So that's a gorgeous one too. And then we have another team member of mine who participated, Judy Walton, made this beautiful card. Isn't that pretty? And this is with the new decorative masks. The outside one is from the 4 square decorative mask. That's a pack that is in the annual catalog. And then we have the Abundant Beauty decorative mask. The one with the sunflowers here is from the mini catalog, and that's a new set. She did a beautiful job of that. And then on the, let's see what, I'm looking to see what is that called? Exposed Brick is the embossing folder that she used on top of that. So beautiful card there too, and did the inside even. Isn't that lovely? Knowing you brings joy to my heart. I think that's from the Sincere Thanks, So Sincere stamp set. Isn't that lovely? So we kind of did a mix of fall, autumn, Christmas, all that. So I wanted to show you all of those. And then now we will get busy on our card for the day, which is this bright cherry card here. Move these out of the way. And if anybody has any questions, let me know as we go along. I'm excited to share all this with you. Okay, Facebook user. We have, they are cute. We had a lot of fun making the make and takes and just having some little fellowship. Would love to do that with more of y'all. Always try to do something special for our team members. So that was a lot of fun. Okay, we have the Marion Bright stamp set. It would really be the Marion Bright bundle is what I would recommend highly. We used some of the dies and used a lot of that stamp set. And I don't have the bundle number. I should have, but let's see if I can get that for you really quickly. If y'all just need to order one of these, you can just go to my website at createwithkelley.com and order that. Let's see, when you order the bundle with the dies and the stamp set together, that saves you 10%. So it's $47.50 for both the dies and the stamp set. And that number is 161951. And this suite is on page 8 and 9 of the mini catalog. That's September through December. Okay, another item that we used for this, get my goodies out here for us to do some playing. I used the embossing folder that's the Stripes and Splatters Duo. It comes the two little mini folders. That is in the annual catalog also. And it looks like I got the wrong one. I got Sharon's because mine is labeled with what it is. So we switched folders. I've already done one switch with her. That's what happens when you go to another location with all your stuff. Sometimes you get back with it all, and sometimes you get back with somebody else's stuff instead of your own. But it was a lot of fun. Okay, we will go through this and show you how I got here. Let's see. We've got the card base that's your typical 8.5 by 5.5, and it's scored not only at 4 1/4 like we usually do, but at 2 1/8. So 2 1/8 is half of 4 1/4. 4 1/4 is half of 8.5. So that's where that's scored, 2 1/8 and 4 1/4. And we're going to use our little bone folder on here. Get this going the way we want it to. We'll move all that out of your way. Okay, and I always line up the edges. Even though it's scored here, I like to line those edges up and make sure I've got it even front and back. And I use the bone folder on the front and the back. Okay, then we're going to go ahead and fold this in a mountain fold. So again, you want to get that straight in here with the score line and make sure it's straight on the edges, and then go ahead and burnish your score line. So now we have the mountain fold, and that is all there is to a horizontal easel. Isn't that easy? You just have to put something up here that it will stick on. There we go. Oh, hi, Rebecca. I'm glad to know it's you. Thank you for tuning in. Rebecca and I are going to be working later today on, she's going to co-host with me on my local techniques class that's coming up next weekend. So we're working on that some more today. That's a lot of fun to get to work with the team member to host one of my classes with me, co-host. So that's a lot of fun. All right. We have already, I'll go ahead and give you the sizes of the paper as we go. This is the shaded spruce, and it is 3 inches by 4 3/4. Is that right? Yes. 3 inches by 4 3/4. And I've run it through that striped embossing folder. You wouldn't have to do that if you don't have that one. You could choose another one or not do it. But I really like the way the lines kind of really coordinate with that designer series paper. And the designer series paper, of course, is from the Merry and Bright suite that I showed you on page 8 and 9 of the catalog. Next sheet of paper, this is Blueberry Bushel, and that is 2.5 by 4 1/4. 2.5 by 4 1/4. And then we've got the Mary, that is, we used the alphabet a la mode dies, and I had those in my little box, and I think I took them out. So they're not in here, but it's the alphabet a la mode dies, and those are from the annual catalog. And this piece of DSP with the stripe is 2 1/4 by 4. So if you're doing this word Mary, that's a good size for it. 2 1/4 by 4. And if you'll do it this size, rather than trying to make it just barely fit on there, then you can use this negative space on this card. And then I took the actual letters and used them on this card. So that's how we got a 2-for-1. So this is half of a twofer, if that makes sense. Okay, so we're ready on that one. And you can kind of do this in whatever order you decide. But for the front of the card, you know, you need to always audition your pieces and make sure everything's going to fit the way you want it to. And I started with this shaded spruce, kind of made an even border all the way around it, because I know that's going to go flat. It's not going to stick up. You don't want anything sticking up out of the boundaries of your card base. Otherwise, it won't fit in your envelope. So we will get our, oh, let me finish giving you all the sizes. Hang on. Okay. 3 inches by 5 1/4. So you've got a white 3 inches by 5 1/4, and then you've got a scrap. I have a lot of these left after I cut card bases, card insides. You know, we have a lot of these strips left, and I always save these. So this is a perfect little strip for the greetings that are on the front, and it's actually 1/2 inch. So whatever kind of scrap you have, and this is just a little bitty scrap big enough to hold the light bulb. This one happens to be 1.5 by 2.5. So anywhere in that range of your scraps, you can do that. And I think that's all we need to measure, except for this one. This is going to be, it's a little bit under 1 inch. And what I did was, it's about 15/16. It really is what it is. And the designer series paper has rows and rows of these dots. And so I just measured the distance between this edge of this dot and this edge on the next strip, if that makes sense. So it wasn't quite 1 inch. So don't just go and measure 1 inch. Your dots are going to be off like this one. See, this was at the end of the paper. So if you'll just kind of measure based on the dots and the distance between the rows, that's the best way. But I found that it was about 15/16. And I know that drives some people crazy. So just kind of eyeball it and you'll do fine. All right. So we've got that piece. And I think that's all we need to measure. And that would be by 5 1/4, because that's going to go almost all the way across. You want it to have an even border all the way around. All right. So keep all that in mind as you are putting these pieces together. And I have put these on a foam adhesive sheet. All you do is mount the letters. Dang, I wish I had those. Let me go grab those alphabet dies. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. I was cleaning up the craft room and I actually put them back where they belonged. Shocker! So, alphabet a la mode. I wanted to show you how I have put these together. The alphabet in here is just awesome. They are skinny. They're narrow letters, so you can put bigger words on your cards that way. And I just used, it's called frog tape. It's not as sticky as, definitely not as duct tape. Duct tape's way too sticky. You need kind of a sensitive touch tape. I don't know what you call it, but it's not extremely sticky. It's not like a permanent tape. So kind of easily removable. So I lined up my letters where they would fit. Let's see if I can get all this in here. Where they would fit on this designer series paper, and taped them together. And then I taped them down to this. Oh, well, first I cut the foam adhesive sheet, and those come in sheets about that big, say 4 by 4.25 or something like that, about that size. So you attach your designer series paper to the adhesive sheet. This adhesive sheet is just like a full set of Stampin' Dimensionals. It's just solid. It's not cut out like the dimensionals are. And so it has 2 sticky sides. So peel the backing off of one side and carefully lay it on your paper. And I have found that if you'll make this foam adhesive sheet a little bit smaller than this one, that helps when you put it down, so that if you're off a little bit, it's okay. You just want to make sure you've got enough room for everything you're cutting out to cut out. Then you're going to go ahead and take the backing off and have it ready to go onto your striped DSP, and you hang on to those R's. See how the middle kind of comes out on here? That saves that for you. Then we're going to add that to our blueberry bushel piece, which I've already told you all the sizes, and they're going to be on my blog post, so which I did yesterday, I think, and linked it to this video. So you just leave an even border all the way around on that one. Then you take your little insides of your R's, which probably take a pick tool would be a good idea for that. Get that in there. Try to line that up. Since you've got a line through it, you want to try to get that fairly even. And they are already sticky, obviously, because it's on the adhesive sheets. I might do better just with my fingers here. I can kind of hold it better. Sorry, my hand's probably in the way of y'all watching. Let me see if I can do it this way. So see, I'm just trying to get in the middle of the space that's left and kind of line up that where the pool party goes into the blueberry bushel. There we go. Okay. That's all there is to that. So I do highly recommend these alphabet a la mode dies, and they are 160750 if y'all are interested in ordering that item. And when you do order, it really helps me out a lot if you will use the host code that is on my screen. That's at the bottom of the screen there. All right, unless your order is 150 or more, and then you get your own host code. You get your own hostess rewards, which you earn, you deserve. Okay, so for this, see, like I said, before you want to audition them before you start gluing, because you want to see how far up this can stick. If I'm going to go ahead and stick that down, where am I going to put the glue? Right, only on the bottom half. So I'm going to cover up this part so that I know this is the part I don't want, and I want about half of it covered. Should have gotten my glue going first here. Left it upright. If you'll leave it with its little cap on it, these are just some little squirt bottles. You can put any liquid glue, whatever your favorite liquid glue is on there. Hopefully I didn't go up too high there. I may have. We'll see. But you don't want to go up above that fold line. Whew, barely made it. A little bit right there. Might want to wipe that off if I'm coordinated enough to do that. There we go. Okay. Oh, it's dry here. I put this wet wipe in there just like less than half an hour ago, so I would have it ready, and it's already just about dry, just sitting out. That might be why I need a sip of water. Hope y'all are all having a great weekend so far. Okay, so I have that ready. Now I'm going to figure out where I want this. And I know I don't want it to stick up over the top here, but I want to have room for this little deal for the have a part. And I want room down here. So I think that's about right. That's about a quarter of it sticking up. And again, I don't want to go up too high on this. So I'm going to cover that up. That's where I don't want glue. Is where I'm putting my fingers. And liquid glue, especially when you're attaching it to the textured cardstock, I really like to use liquid glue. You could use seal, but you just can't wiggle it around if you do. Okay, does that leave us? I think that's a little higher. I'm going to move it down just a little bit. Okay. Let it sit for a minute. Give it some time to adhere because it's adhering to that rough surface. So it's kind of having to go in between the cracks and crevices there. All right. Now we're going to do some stamping. Fun, fun. That's what we're about, right? Okay. Let's get our little piece of DSP. We'll get our white one. We're going to set that aside. Let's set these up here where y'all can kind of see them. And then we'll get our little Stampin' Pierce mat, which I always use this. I just feel like you get a better image if you've got this little cushion, whether you're using photopolymer, especially with photopolymer. But even with the clean mount, I still do that. Okay, we're going to use the stamp set, obviously, Merry and Bright. And I've got to have Pool Party. Forgot about that color. Okay, on the inside, we have Pool Party. And we're just going to do our little light bulb. You can do whatever part you want to do first. You just do first. Just kind of want to leave some room for the little glow deals around there. And that's going to smooth out a little bit when I put the Wink Stella on it. Or if you don't like it, we can do it again. Let's do it on the other side. See which one we like best. Leave it on there a couple of seconds. Whoops, sorry. Didn't realize I was off camera. Y'all let me know if you have a comment, if I'm doing something crazy and y'all can't see or something. All right, we've got Lemon Lime Twist for our little glow lines. Whoops, sorry, that's probably loud. Okay, we're going to just use our little lines here, put them wherever you want, as close as you want. I did 3. And I like the coming off the page kind of thing. So we have those, easy peasy. And then I'm going to clean that. Well, we'll go ahead and finish the inside, and then I'll come back to that. Talking to myself again. Those of you who know me know I do that a lot. But I think it's normal. So if y'all somehow get by without having a discussion with yourselves, more power to you. I'm impressed at the talent. Okay, next we're going to use Shaded Spruce. That was again Pool Party Lemon Lime Twist. Now we're going to use our little base, I guess you call it. I don't know, base socket. It's not really a socket, but that little part that's at the top of a light bulb. Just kind of do that right there on the top of that. And I think I'm just going to leave that in my lap. Okay, next we have our little cord that's going to be shaded spruce also. We're done with the pool party. And you can use whichever end you want. You don't have to ink up the whole thing, just really like one end is plenty. So I'm going to do that one little loop-de-loop. And it's kind of magical how you put it through, put it right through where you stamp the green socket part, top of the bulb, base of the bulb, and it just magically looks like there's a cord going through that little loop there. Isn't that cute? Easy peasy. It looks like it might be tough to get that to work right, but nope. It's an illusion. I guess our brain just fills that in for us. I don't know. Okie dokie. And then we could use Oh What Fun, or if y'all want to change it up and see Holly Jolly, that's also in this stamp set. It would fit kind of in the same space. If anybody wants to see Holly Jolly, y'all holler that out. Otherwise, I'll just do the Oh What Fun. And we'll do that in Blueberry Bliss, Blueberry Bushel. Okay, haven't heard any Holly Jollies. Anybody? Okay, we're just going to stick with Oh What Fun, because this is definitely a fun card. Oh What Fun, Blueberry Bushel. Okay, close that up. Now we'll go back to the front and see what we need there. And we're going to do those just on the scrap pieces that I told you about earlier. And we're going to do our light bulb for the front. We're going to try, I'm not sure if I did Granny Apple Green or Lemon Lime Twist. So I think I'm going to try Lemon Lime Twist on this one. Sharon did that last night and it was really cute. I think I may have done the Granny Apple Green the first time. All right. Boop. Nope, I think I did do Lemon Lime Twist, and I was just wrong when I said that at our little team swap. But you could use whatever colors you wanted. I just like to stay, if I have some designer series paper giving me the hints as to what colors to use, that's what I use. I like to repeat those same colors. Sometimes you need a pop of a different color, but on this, it's already so colorful that I'm going to stick with the color scheme there. And then we're going to stamp that little base or socket, whatever you want to call it. Dang, and I didn't get that totally cleaned off there. I bet I can fix that with a shaded spruce marker. I'm going to try to fill that in just a little bit. Magic! Who would know? No one. Okay, and we're going to die cut that out. I mean, not die cut, fussy cut. There is a die that cuts out the bulb, but it cuts out the bulb and the little base separately. So I just decided it was just as easy to fussy cut that instead of having to do two separate pieces and put them together and blah, blah. So that's what I did. And if y'all want to see the little filament, we could put that on this one. We've got little filaments for the inside. And let's see. I thought I had two different ones, but I guess not. I guess we just have two different ones for... That's different. I didn't realize that. For the dies, we have two different type of the filaments. See, one with the little three things and one that's kind of almost heart-shaped. But with the stamps, there's kind of one that's a little bigger, but it's basically the same thing. So let's go with, why don't I do Granny Apple Green on that. We'll just make it just a little bit darker. We'll see if we like this. Why not just try it on live, right? I'm brave. Okay. Cute. Okay. So there we have that with the little filament showing. Isn't that what that's called, filament? I think so. At least that's part of what that inside is. I'm not sure if it's that exact part or not. Okay, all we like now are the Christmas and Bright and Have A. And we're just going to use this long strip that I already had that was scrap. I love to use my scraps up. Okay, we're doing the Have A in Shaded Spruce. We got a lot going on here. Trying to keep y'all in range. And just really look at it and make sure you're getting solid coverage on your stamp before you stamp it. Turn it over, look. You can tell if you've got part that's missing or how it looks. And since this is a scrap, you can always do more than one. And it doesn't have to be perfectly lined up because you're going to have some border around it. You'll cut it so you have a border around. Okay. Have a Merry and Bright. Okay, we're going to use the and Bright in the Granny Apple Green. And again, I don't have it straight on the block. So I'm kind of just making sure looks good, solid, give it some pressure. When you have a reverse image like this with the font that's the negative, you got to make sure your solid outside part is really stamped well and give it some time to soak in before you pull that up. Okay, we're going to put the end Bright up. Have a up. Okay, and where's our Christmas? Right here. Okay. Next, we've got the Blueberry Bushel. And that's the Christmas one. Non-traditional colors here, but I love these. If y'all have been to my house, you know I've got a chair that's just this bright, that's kind of striped with these same colors. I love it. And we will be doing some more traditional kind of Christmas cards too later. And I still haven't forgotten there's fall coming, so I will be doing some fall cards too. I just had to show you this one. I was so excited about it. Love this pair. Okay, I think that is all the stamping that we have to do here. We'll just put that up. I am so proud of myself for getting this all back to where it belongs here. Okay, we'll clean the Christmas and put it back in the case. So we're ready for the next time we do this stamping business. All right. Whoops, we got one more little one here. Got to take care of. Okay. Now, I think we're going to be good to go. Okay, let me get my little paper snips. We'll get this out of the way. Since we're done with our... Oh, I forgot one of the swaps earlier. It wasn't a card. How cute is this swap? Isn't that darling? And this is from Melissa, and she is one of Sharon's team members. So sorry, I forgot this earlier. Isn't that pretty? She did a little shading, I guess, with blends, and this came from Seasonal Branches, I think it's called, in the annual catalog. But it has that little bird and all these branches, and these are really pretty accessories here too. So I forgot that. Sorry, it fell off my card pile. Okay, we're gonna just trim this out, and I'm just gonna leave a little bit of white And if you'll, it's kind of harder to do on camera here where I'm holding it away from me. I didn't realize how closely I usually hold it to me, I guess. Get all that excess off and just leaving a little white border around. It really will stand out against the background a lot better if you leave a little border. And then also if you make a little bobble, if you've got a little white border, and then you can kind of go around and fix it. If you get one part way too close, you've still got room to kind of go back and even that up everywhere else. And just use the scissors and move the paper is what I've found is the easiest. I got a little crooked there. Okay, this side is a little wider white border than the other, so I'm gonna get a little bit closer over here. That was a teeny tiny spider. I don't know if y'all saw that. I mean, teeny tiny. And if anybody out here is interested in a Halloween class, let me know. I've got so many things going on. I have a retreat coming up October 27th, Friday evening, and then all day Saturday. We're going to have lots of fun here doing that. So I'm working on those cards. I kind of have to get all that designed, and the Halloween class designed, and the autumn classes designed. And I have a 45th high school reunion in between there. And so there's a lot going on here. So we will get all the details out as fast as I can on all of those. Would love to have you put that on your calendar now, and then we'll figure out if we're going to do it as just a full retreat only, or if I'm going to let y'all come to portions of it, like the morning session, the early afternoon session, late afternoon session, kind of do those where you can do it all for one price, which will of course be the deal of the day. And then the other options will maybe a little bit more expensive on their own than they would be packaged up if you do the whole retreat. So, and I am going to be doing a retreat in a box for those people who can't attend here. If you're from the US and are interested, I can definitely ship that to you for you to do. So that will include, I'll do some videos and PDFs and all that also with it. Okay, I think we've got all those pieces ready. Now, let's get these on. And I use the foam adhesive strips, which hopefully I have in here. Yes, hurrah. Okay. Oh, Tanya, I'm glad you're excited about that. I'm excited too. It's just trying to figure out what I've got to work on first and how to get all that done. Okay. Kind of measure and see. You don't have to cover the entire thing, but most of it. And I just like these, instead of having to do several little minis, this is easier. So I'm going to go ahead and peel that backing off while I'm at it. Probably not the best choice, but we're going to do it. Okay, now we have Ann Bright. Close to the edge. You don't want it hanging over where you can see it from the back. And then we've got a little piece for Have A. And I'm just doing those right in the center. Center. I shouldn't slur my words like that, right? And sorry, I'm off. I can't get my chair hits in one spot and then it rolls over. So I don't realize I'm out of the screen. Whoops, I didn't need to put the Have A as with a dimensional. We will hopefully be able to reuse that somewhere else. Yikes. Put that out of the way. I'm going to stick that on my little adhesive mat, so I can maybe use that later. Okay, and these are foam adhesive strips. It really helps to have these long ones. We're going to use them in a minute too on the where they're really necessary to mount our little easel part. 141825 if y'all need some of those, and they're perfect for that. All right. We're going to add that one flat because it's already on, basically on a raised area. So we're just going to glue that part on, and always pay attention now. Just this part doesn't need glue. So that's why I put my fingers there. So I would not put glue on it. I'm going to line that up kind of at the top of that M, hanging off a bit. So it's kind of in between that jig-jaggedy part where the blue goes to the blueberry bushel and the spruce meet. Okay, if you want it up higher, you could have it up higher. It's totally up to you. How you want to do it. It's your card. You create it however you want. Okay, I'm going to center this right under here. I'm going to line this up with the blue. And then I'm going to put this beside it. I'm going to make sure I've got room for my little bulb, which I do. So we're going to leave just a little bit of room there and try to line that up. And it doesn't have to be perfect. You know, all these lines are kind of a little imperfect. Okay, now we'll just use some, I'll just use a regular dimensional for this. Those are from a paper pumpkin. All right, let's see. And I want to see, I know my bottom's okay. I think I'm just going to put it here. So you're going to be as high as this already with this part. So you want just your dimensional to go over here. And if you wanted to put a little bit of glue here to glue onto that, you could, but it kind of works like this, I think. Okay. Then we've got, I didn't quite get that smooth enough. Okay. Now we've got about an 8.5 inch ribbon here. This is actually Pretty Parakeet is the color. So, and it's in the annual catalog. It's been around a while. It was one of the new in colors last year. Oh, Parakeet Party, not Pretty Parakeet. Sorry about that. Parakeet Party, which is very close. This is kind of in between the Parakeet Party, Lemon Lime Twist, Granny Apple Green. All those are in the same family. So this ribbon works just great with that. And I think with the bright theme, this is just a perfect little choice to use the metallic ribbon. Okay. So just get your little bow how you want it. Manhandle the tails to get them going the way you want. So once you get it how you want it, then you can take the tail and the loop on both sides and pull and tighten that up. But you don't want to do that until you get it the way you want it. Cool. So we're going to do that. And since this ribbon will just fold up when you put it in the envelope, it's fine. It doesn't matter that that sticks out over the edge because it's not paper. So it will be fine. Fine and dandy. Okay, we're going to use our glue dots. And always take the bow to the dot, not try to get the dot off of here and put it on the bow. Just take the bow to the dot. And then we're just going to kind of gather that up on both ends, twist it off. So your glue dot comes off with it. And then we're going to stick that as if it were going through that little hoop there. You can have tails going up. You could have tails both going down. However you get it to stick is hunky-dory. Okay, isn't that cute? All righty then. Now, I'm going to show you we'll come back and do our Wink of Stella shortly. But I have already die cut. I showed you the dies earlier. These are the cute little light bulbs. And you could easily, if you don't want to futz with this, if it's too futzy or putsy or whatever you call it, Did I already put that up, Tanya? I'm so glad you're coming to the retreat. I'm anxious about that. I think I did. Was just checking for more comments and then couldn't remember. See, you could do just the little circles and it would still be really cute. But I think these little bulbs just kind of take it over the top. So I think it's worth it to do a little bit of extra effort for that. And we'll just here, I'm just going to use our little pad here as a scratch pad. We're going to use the Shaded Spruce Stampin' Blend, and always make sure you've got some kind of surface underneath you, and so it won't mar the surface underneath your table or whatever. And I'm just taking the bullet point and I'm going over just the cord. I die cut it out of Pool Party. I think I've already said that. So we have those cute little Pool Party bulbs. And then don't worry about going off the cord just a little bit. I kind of went up to where there's a little notch. If you can see that, where that base or socket would come up there, I just kind of did that like that. And I'm doing that on all of them. I'm not going to use all these bulbs. I'm going to show you how to cut them to make this little thing work. But I'm going to go, it's easier, I thought, to just go ahead and color them all. It just takes a couple of seconds. And that way you don't have to fool with little ones after you've already cut them apart. Because you really wouldn't have to color all these because you're going to cut them apart. But I think that's easier to do it that way. So that's what I did. Okay. Now we're going to show you. I wanted to show you, if you put this whole thing on there. See if you can see that. See, it's cute, but it's kind of a little bit much. It's a little busy. So I decided I was going to cut some of them off. And basically you just decide where you want to start. And that one's just a partial. So I'm going to start there and cut him off. And I decided I liked it as if the cord were going crooked and not just try to line them up straight across, because it's hard to get everything exactly straight, right? So why not make it crooked on purpose? Okay, so I just picked a spot and I thought I'm just going to follow that curve there. I'm going to do that and stick that on. A little bit much glue. Okay, so you just kind of have it where that glue lets you move it just a tad. That's helpful. Okay, then that one's too close to the end. You don't want that over there unless you do two of them, which you could. If you wanted to do two bulbs and break the borders of the circle, you could certainly do that. Then we're going to take this one and maybe go down just a little bit with that one. Let's put our glue mat under here so I don't make a mess of my work surface. And some people work with tweezers and do a lot better job of this, but I just never started with the tweezer, so I don't use them very much unless I'm embossing or something. So I'm going to go one up, one down. You can have them faced whichever way you want. I didn't really get enough glue on that one, evidently. Just so the cord is kind of continuous was my thought process, but you can do it however you want. It's your card. Let's see if we maybe do want two of them on that, if that would work. I think we're okay. Just snip that one off. So we'll flip another one back up. Kind of go down at a different angle. I just think it's kind of fun to have them all going every which way. But if you want yours all lined up, That's hunky-dory. Okay. We need another one. And you don't have to worry about this being down and that being up. You know, you can flip it over. Think outside the box. Okay. Let's see if we want that one. That works a little bit long. And they don't have to be right in the center. You can have them all a little bit different. That's great. And then if you have one that's a little long, then snip it off. Okay. So you can see how your one line of bulbs is going to be plenty. Die cutting one row. Hope y'all are having a great weekend. Anybody doing anything crafty today or tomorrow that you want to share? Anybody have any questions about this? Is this do y'all like this card? Is it something fun that y'all might want to try? Okay. And we're almost done. We could go 2 on that one, but I think I'm going to stick to just the one and cut him off right there. I think that might be a little short, and I'm going to fix that. I got that really crooked there on that little socket. We're going to fix that. Okay, I'm going to make that one go up. So you kind of want to make sure it goes edge to edge. However you've cut it, just kind of move it on the dot so that, whoops, that moved a little too much. Okay, isn't that fun? And that wasn't that hard, right? Just takes a little bit of time, but not a ton. Okay, we're going to get our Wink of Stella. And you can do just the bulb if you want, or you can do a little glow. I tried the lines, stamping the lines like I have on the inside, these little glow lines on here, and it was too much, I thought, with the bulbs. But I kind of almost like a little bit of the glow, the Wink of Stella on the little part of the circle that kind of looks like a glow itself, you know. Just kind of put that there, but make sure you've got the bulbs covered really well. And then we're going to go ahead and go here. You probably don't want to do the granny apple green part. I would avoid that just in case it smears. Sometimes that will smear with your Wink of Stella. I tried it on these letters and it definitely smeared, especially with these dark colors. It tends to smear like that. So I've got it just on the bulb part, especially there where it's white. And then I went inside the little negative space here, the reverse area in that little tunnel. Went inside there with the Wink of Stella so that you get the Mary all lit up and sparkly. Who doesn't want a little sparkly Mary, right? And how am I doing on time here? I have about run out of it. And we are almost through. And I'm not sure if you can see this completely on the camera. I'll hold it up and let you see it when I finish. I may go back in and add a little more, but I just wanted you to get the idea of how to do that. Just kind of keep your brush in that little tunnel. And that is it, peeps. We're going to put this up. Oops. With foam adhesive strips. Like I said, you want a good solid surface for this part to hit. You can see how that this is a solid surface all the way across. That really helps keep that easel steady for you. And I would go in and just kind of measure this to see what you need. You need a couple of strips about that long, maybe a little bit less. Okay, so we're going to peel those up. Put it right on the very, very edge. Well, maybe not the very, very, because you don't want it lapped over where you can see it. But pretty darn close. Okay. And it didn't take us the whole hour to do the card because part of it we were looking at the swaps. Okay, so just take the Stampin' the foam adhesive strip backing off, and you'll line that up where you've got an even border all the way around here on the sides and the bottom. We're pretty close anyway. There you go. And we'll put the inside in, and I would say that needs a little wink of Stella. Also on that bulb. Okay, so I am lining that up right on that edge of the foam adhesive strip here and leaving an even border around. And that is what makes your horizontal easel. How fun is that? Aren't these beautiful colors? Fun, fun. All right, I think we have completed our card. And then if you do this card, so you'll have these letters so that you can make the card that we'll show you next week or another time, or at least I'll post it on my blog on how to make this one. Isn't that fun? Yay. Okay, well, thanks so much for tuning in and watching me make this card. I hope you'll try it yourself. Let's go ahead and put some Wink of Stella on that one on the inside. We want a little glow there too. And on our little glow things there. But I'll show you up close how the little bulbs, see how the shine really helps those. Isn't that cute? Love it. Hope y'all enjoyed it too. Hope you're having a great weekend, and hope you will subscribe to my blog at createwithkelley.com to get more ideas like this one. And to get the details actually for this, it'll have the measurements and everything already posted. And then thanks a lot for subscribing to my YouTube channel, and my Facebook group is called Create with Kelley Crew. And then the Facebook page is Create with Kelley. So would love to have you be a part of that. And I do have classes coming up. I will be sending out a newsletter very soon with all the dates and links to RSVP for my local classes here in Lubbock if you're interested. Would love to have you be a part of my Create with Kelley crew. Thanks again for tuning in. We've got a lot of fun times ahead. Thanks. Bye-bye.